Oh man, I already know this is going to be controversial. Hey everyone, Gary of the Elysiums here. Today we're going to be ranking the studio discography of Journey. Now, before we get into this video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like this video, all that stuff. Helps support my channel, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Journey was formed from the ashes of Santana, along with Neil Schon and Greg Rowley. There's kind of a mixed fan base for Journey. Journey's first three albums are very prog rock, very instrumental, almost kind of soft rock also to it. Then they gained Steve Perry and became the AOR giants they are now, with selling out arenas. They're all over FM radio. Don't Stop Believin' is one of the most well-known songs of all time. And then we also have two other singers. We have Steve Olgari, which came to Journey in the late 90s, early 2000s. Did two albums with them, and then their newest singer, Ariel Pineda, is from the Philippines, I do believe, and he has done an amazing job almost replicating Steve Perry's vocals, and they've been successful with him. So we have 15 studio albums from Journey that we'll be ranking. I'm not going to be ranking the soundtrack. Was a Look Into the Future, because it's a soundtrack. I mean, it's not, I don't even think it's released on CD. If it is, hasn't been remastered or anything, and they don't really talk about it much, Journey themselves. So we're going to get right into it. Number 15 is the second and last album to feature Steve Olgari on vocals. This was released in 2005. This is Generations. As you can see, they have that classic Scarabaeus or Beatle artwork, which they had on so many other albums. Steve Olgari is a good singer. He's a very, very good singer. I do like his vocals. The only problem is he had to follow up Steve Perry. And not only did he had to follow up Steve Perry, he had to follow up in a time when Journey just was not hip. No one wanted to hear Journey. This, like I said, it's 2005. I feel like classic rock had this huge revival in the late 2000s, early 2010s, which is, it's awesome now. It's always been awesome, but when I say classic rock, I mean bands like Journey and REO Speedwagon and Styx and Heart. It was kind of like uncool to listen to them. I don't know why. I don't have any shame in listening to them. You always gotta listen to them. All right, coming number 14. This is Arrival. Again, first album, with Steve Olgari. This is released in 2001. Cool artwork there. Looks very vintage, going back to the first couple Journey albums. Not a bad album at all. I mean, there's some really good tracks on here. The only problem is they're in the CD age, and there's 15 songs on here. It's a little too long for me. There are some decent tracks on here, like All the Way. Signs of Life is a good song. Live and Breathe I like a lot. But then, like, you kind of get exhausted with getting it, track 15. It's like, all right, this is a little too long. And again, this when this came out in 2001, it's the height of nu metal. So a lot of the, the Journey fans were more into different hard rock stuff. I guess they were all, raising teenagers at this time, the original Journey people. But not a bad album overall. Like I said, if it was a little shorter, it would be decent. Maybe just cut it back to 10, 12 songs. It would be a lot nicer. All right, coming number 13. This is the latest release. This is Freedom. Ariel Pineda on vocals. Another thing I'll say, just like I said with Arrival, 15 tracks, just a little too long. This is the Digipack. There you see. I'm sorry, Arnel. I was saying his name wrong the whole time. I always call him Ariel. Arnel Pineda. Sorry, Arnel. But yeah, cool picture there with Sean and Jonathan Cain. But the opening track, Together We Run, Don't Give Up on Us, Still Believe in Love, You Got the Best of Me, Live to Love Again. I mean, the first, it's very front heavy. There's a lot of really good songs to start it. Like I said, it kind of, I don't want to say it gets boring, but it it kind of should have been cut. Couple tracks could have been cut. Maybe do like a bonus disc and put like 3 or 4 songs on a second disc and make it a limited edition, you know? I think that would have been cool. All right, coming number 12. This is the second release with Arnel. This is Eclipse. Released in 2011? 2011. Again, another digipack. Strong release. At this time, I feel like they've toured a lot with Arnel, and he's become a name rather than just, you know, trying to mimic Steve Perry. But there's some decent tracks on here. City of Hope, Edge of the Moment, Chain of Love, Anything is Possible, Ritual. And again, once there was like a documentary released with Arnel, and people started really hearing him. 2011, YouTube's still fairly new, so there's more exposure to the band and Arnel himself, and you can see where he came from. And you know, he's just seems like, I never met him obviously, but he seems like an awesome dude. I really think he's a good dude. I know he's he's originally from the Philippines, and he did not grow up in the United States, obviously. So there was a language barrier which he learned to overcome, and did a fantastic job, especially, like I said, almost, you know, replicating the lyrics to the same tone as Steve Perry. So awesome for that. Now, coming at number 11, I actually don't have the CD, but I am familiar with it. I have listened to it, and I listened to it again before doing this ranking to see where I wanted to place it. And it is Revelation, which is the first studio album with Arnel. It was released in 2008. So I think 2008 would probably be the year where I think that this AOR stuff would come a little more popular again. With, you know, REO Speedwagon, I think, released something around there. Styx, Journey, obviously. So this actually came as a 3-disc set. The second disc is a re-recording of original Journey songs, like the stuff they did with Steve Perry. And then the third disc was a complete live set. I believe it was live in Las Vegas, featuring Arnel on vocals, doing all the classic Journey songs. So that, I think, was the huge selling point, because it actually debuted at number 2 on the Billboard charts. So did way better than the Steve O'Gary years. Nothing against Steve. And that's why it comes in number 11 for me. All right. Coming at number 10, Trial by Fire. Now, by this time, Steve Perry is actually back in the band. They reunited. This is 1996. They reunited for money. I mean, as you can see, the band here, and Steve looking the opposite way, almost looking disgusted already. I mean, it perfectly sums up this album. When You Love a Woman was the huge hit single off of this. But again, they kind of tried that, it's very similar to When You Loved a Woman. It almost sounds like a Bon Jovi song to me, like something he would have did on, These Days or Keep the Faith almost, because it's like you are trying that same 80s formula, but it's 1996, and that sounds kind of gone, even though you're a legendary band and you're very successful with it, and again, the CD was a success, but it was a one and done, and Steve Perry would never record an album with the band again. All right, comment number 9. Here's where I think it gets controversial, because there's a lot of people that are very into prog rock and are wondering where I would rank this album. Number 9 is Next. So this is the original band featuring Neil Schon, Ainsley Dunbar, Ross Valerie, and Gregg Rolie. Gregg Rolie does lead vocals. This is their third album, released in 1977. Just a basic CD here, nothing special, not remastered or anything. Very instrumental. Almost like yacht rock, I think some of these songs are. Very slow. Overall, I rank this a little higher than the other Journey stuff, just because it's different. It's like comparing apples to oranges, but I feel like I would pull this CD out before the other ones I mentioned already, because like if I'm going for Journey, I want to hear Steve Perry, and that's my opinion. A lot of people like this version of Journey. They like the early prog rock Journey. I love Steve Perry. I mean, there's a reason they sold billions of albums with Steve Perry, and there's a reason that we know Journey because of Steve Perry. All right, and then that was number 9. Coming in, was we at number 8 now? Number 8, yeah. Coming number 8. This is a sophomore release, Look Into the Future. This was released in 1976. Same lineup as Next. Some good songs on this. On a Saturday Night, It's All Too Much. Anyway, She Makes Me Feel Alright, the title track. What I like about this, again, it has those prog rock moments. Neil Schon is definitely shredding on this. You get a better understanding, but you see they're kind of moving in a different direction from the debut to this one and Next. There's definitely the mixture of the two albums. To me, there's times where they could sound like they're doing Chicago songs, obviously without the huge brass section and all that, but overall not a bad album, decent album. Coming number 7 is the debut album, Journey. As you can see, there's like kind of a sci-fi space rock, space age cover there. 1975 release. Neil Schon just he jams on this one. It's very, very good guitar work. Again, Greg Rowley on vocals. Of a Lifetime, In the Morning Day, Kohoutek, The Place of Music, Topaz, In My Lonely Feeling, and The Conversations, and Mystery Mountain. There's 7 tracks on here. I like this album a lot. Like I said, it's heavy. It's very proggy, and when it first came out, I mean, just the cover alone, you could tell it's going to be a prog rock album. So for you proggers out there, I'm wondering where you would place this at. I don't know. Would this be your first? Would you rank this first of the first 3 Journey albums? That's how I do. But of the first 3, I feel like this is the strongest. All right, and now we are coming at number 6. Raised on Radio. 1986 release. This would be the last album released with Steve Perry until he would come back in the band in 1996 and do Trial by Fire. Some huge hit songs on here like Girl Can't Help It, Be Good to Yourself was a hit, the title track, and I'll Be There, I'll Be Alright Without You is definitely the strongest on this CD and the biggest hit. See, this is the 1996 reissue. Now, some other reissues are newer, but this is the 96. I never got anything newer than this one. So yeah, basically you can hear the band breaking up on this album, in my opinion. You could tell that Steve Perry is unhappy. He just had a huge successful career with Street Talk, releasing Oh Sherry and Foolish Hearts. I feel like his ego was bigger than the band at the time, especially bumping heads with Jonathan Cain. But overall, a good album. I mean, he even produced it himself, Steve Perry. All right, now we're getting to the top 5. Coming at number 5, Evolution from 1979. These Journey album covers, the first couple with Steve Perry, are just iconic in my opinion. I mean, wouldn't you love to have that on a t-shirt? There's the band there with Steve in the red. Nice album. Love and Touch and Squeezin' is the huge song off of here. We all know that one. But there's other really decent tracks on here, like City of the Angels, Loving You Is Easy, Just the Same Way is probably my favorite song off of here, besides Love and Touch and Squeezin'. It's such a great hit. Majestic opens it up, Too Late. Lady Luck ends it. Really, really strong album. Open up there so you can see the inside. And this is the 2006 remaster. So there was a 96 remaster set, and then they remastered them again 10 years later. I guess to coincide with the return of Steve Perry. Coming number 4, Departure. Again, amazing cover art there. I actually love it. Some people think it's corny, some people think it's horrible. I think it's awesome. I like it. Any Way You Want It. Again, a huge track which opens it up, their big hit. Line of Fire. Awesome song. I actually prefer the live version of Captured. I feel like that's the best version of it. Departure, the title track is great. Good Morning Girl. Homemade Love, which ends it. Walks Like a Lady is a great track. It's the band on the back there. This is notes. It's 1980. Again, this is the 2006 remaster. You get some better artwork there. These colors really pop. All right, coming number 3, Frontiers. following up the biggest album of Journey's career. This was released in 1983. 1983. Separate Ways, which opens it, huge. Send Her My Love, another great track. Faithfully. Come on, how many people got laid to Faithfully? That was like the that was like the school dance song. I mean, everyone did that. How many people had that as the prom song? What I like about this is the remaster version features the track Only the Young, which was recorded for Vision Quest, the 80s movie about pro wrestling. Or I should say amateur wrestling. I forgot that like WWE stuff's actually called pro wrestling. Ask the Lonely is also on here. So those tracks were originally, the only way you could get them was on Greatest Hits. So it's cool that they're included on Frontiers here. Steve likes wearing his red. Yeah, like I said, when this album came out, Journey was the top of the world. They were one of the biggest bands. Steve Perry even did a solo career right after this, released a solo album, very successful after it. And Journey was just huge in this part of the 80s. All right, now coming at number 2. I feel like a lot of you think you know what my number 1 is, but you're not going to know until after I show this. I'm sure everyone thinks it's what everyone would pick as number 1, but I didn't. Escape is number 2 for me. Like I said, their biggest selling album opens up with Don't Stop Believin'. Who doesn't know that song? One of the biggest songs of all time. How many of us have actually sang it at karaoke? I'm sure we all have. Then it goes right into Stone in Love, another great track from Journey. It was a hit, but I feel like it's such a good song. It's more of a rocker. I feel like it deserves more attention. It does more radio airplay. And then Who's Crying Now, another amazing ballad from Journey. I mean, these guys just did not stop. The title track, awesome song, minor hit for the band. And then it ends with Open Arms, another huge ballad, another song we danced to at our, well, I didn't, but that you guys danced to at your prom in the 80s. This was released in 1981. Got a little shot of the band behind the CD there. Yeah, huge album. Again, awesome cover art. I mean, it just screams that 80s art. I mean, that'd be cool to have painted on your side of your Trans Am or on your t-shirt. Really decent album. Huge seller. All right, coming at number 1 is my favorite Journey album. I actually have this cover on a CD itself. Oh, I'm sorry, on a t-shirt itself. So it's the actual first album to feature Steve Perry. This is Infinity. I mean, what an amazing album. Released in 1978. You get this guy, Steve Perry, who's not only one of the greatest vocalists of all time, but like he just catapults your band to like, maybe you know who they are, to, radio staples. Lights, the first track, the huge hit, opens the album, which is amazing. Feeling That Way, awesome song, because you have Greg Rowley and Steve Perry trading back vocals. Anytime, La Da, Patiently, another great song. Wheel in the Sky, another huge hit. So you're bringing this new guy in, and all of a sudden you got 2 really huge hits in Lights and Wheel in the Sky. Something to Hide, Winds of March, Can Do, and then Open the Door to finish it out. My favorite artwork of all the Journey albums. For some reason, this remake, look at Steve, he's laughing because he knows he just made this band millions of dollars. The only thing about this remaster is for some reason there was no bonus tracks on it, because the bonus tracks on the other remasters are just great, So yeah, this is coming in at my number 1 Journey record, studio record. Some other cool stuff to show off, and obviously not studio albums, but Captured. I mean, wow, what a band at the top of their game, a band on fire. This was released in 1981, but it was released right before Escape. So you have this band that is just on top of the world. They didn't even release Don't Stop Believin' yet. And like I said, Line of Fire on here is just one of my favorite live tracks. Feeling That Way is on here. Do You Recall, Love and Touch and Squeeze It, Wheel in the Sky, Any Way You Want It. Really good live album. And Captured is just an awesome title for a live album. I like that. We also have this Greatest Hits Live that was released in the late 90s. What was this? This is 98. So you have some of the tracks that were performed on the Trial by Fire tour. This is also out there too, live in Houston, 1981, Escape Tour. This is the band. Didn't get much bigger than this. There was also a DVD released. I have the DVD concert of this. And then this one is cool too. This is live in Japan from 2017. This is with Arnel. So they do Escape and Frontiers in full. This is a CD, 2 CD DVD collection. There's the CD, CD2, and then the complete show on a DVD. So more live Journey stuff. Everyone knows the Greatest Hits. It's probably my favorite Greatest Hits album of all time. I feel like Journey's Greatest Hits is, if you're like a semi-fan of Journey, that's all you need. Get Greatest Hits in 1 and 2. They're awesome. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching this video. Like I said, I know it's controversial, but drop in your comments. I really wonder, of the 3 first Journey albums, these here, Journey, Look Into the Future, and Next, what's your favorite of the 3? This is mine. Tell me what you like. All right, everyone. Again, thanks for watching. I'd really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video.